deal, and it can never be overstated. If you're in, and we're talking about credit too much, it's impossible, because the difference between having a fair credit score, just the fair, and a poor credit score can literally make you millions of dollars over the course of a decade, and have a better quality of life and peace of mind. Been there, so this is from experience. Without further ado, Mr. Will Roundtree, tell the people who you are, King.
Peace, how you doing? How's everybody doing? So Will Roundtree, credit mastery instructor for the J. Morrison Academy. I'm also the founder, president, and CEO of WE Management Services. I am an author of the book Credit is King, which currently you can purchase on Amazon, as well as on our own website, creditisking.biz. Right now I'm on a 25-city tour where we're literally going around the country teaching people about credit, about how to free themselves financially. I think especially in our community, there's such a misconception about credit. A lot of times people think credit is just about credit cards, going to buy a car, buying a house. But I mean, credit really it's the new wealth. I tell everybody, credit is the new money. And, and the biggest thing, especially within our community, is we've been taught the latter, that credit is evil. Credit is, and all these other things. But it really is. Credit can indirectly affect and impact what school zone your kids go to school in. I mean, so just trying to educate people and really get them to understand that credit has so much more to do than just going to be able to go in Macy's and get that sweater and get a 10% off. It has a lot to do with a lot of different things.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. I know of people who were trying to be police officers. They went through, 18 months of training, physical, mental, all this stuff. They get hired. They go to pull the credit check, and they were denied employment. So you go through 18 months or so to be a cop, serve the city, as they say. That's what they say. Then you get denied because of your credit. It's a huge deal.
It is. I had a client who went to go try to get a job at Southwest Airlines, and they denied her employment because of her credit.
Wow. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. So employers are definitely starting to take wind as using credit as a barometer for employment purposes, mainly because the fact it can jeopardize someone's integrity. I mean, think about it. You're in a position to where you could hold someone hostage, whether it's selling them airline tickets on the black market or, being a crooked public servant. They want to make sure that your credit isn't in jeopardy. You're not behind on American Express, so that you're not supposed to be doing.
It's a huge deal. So, sorry about that. So, let's get into it. Is it Experian, Equifax? One of these companies did something wrong.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
All right, so Equifax, which is located in Atlanta, Georgia, has recently just had probably one of the largest data breaches in the United States. Over 143 million people's information have been compromised. And they seem to don't know what happened. But one thing no one is talking about, immediately after this happened, 3 executives sold off over $1.8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, tell me about it. Their stock dropped 13%. Somebody knows something, and they need to be held accountable for this.
Guy, and by data breach, for on a real one-on-one level, what is that?
So a data breach means that information has been compromised. Names, date of births, addresses, social security numbers, credit card numbers. I tell everybody, if you have a login or you have a credit monitoring service with Equifax right now, you need to cancel it.
Whoa.
I literally just had a client send me over a report where he went and applied and got an account with Equifax. I was like, you need to cancel that right now, King, because they have access to that information. Again, credit card numbers. So if at one point you purchased credit monitoring through Equifax, you potentially are at risk.
Wow. I think I have one. I got to cancel mine. I got to cancel mine. I think I have one on there. Wow, that's insane. That's just, and how many people again, King?
143 million. And we don't even know if that's a true number. It could be more.
That's like half of the country, just about.
Because think
Half of the
about it.
country is exposed.
The reason I say it's more than that, think about it on this level. Everybody has a credit report. So
Yeah,
with Equifax, you're at risk for being compromised. So they're never going to tell you the true number.
that's true. That's true. Wow. So what should people do? And everyone's hopping in here, hop on in here. I'm Andre Hatchett from the Black Real Estate School. Here we have our main man, Mr. Will Roundtree, credit expert, mastery man, all around good human being as well. So what should people do right now?
Well, right now, I immediately recommend everyone put a freeze on their credit report.
Okay.
Whenever we get a client, when it comes to us working with them in relations to credit repair or credit coaching, that's the very first thing we do. We say, hey, look, let's put an alert on your credit. Some people get apprehensive because they don't really understand the magnitude of it. And I tell people, it's scenarios like this is why you want to have an alert on your credit.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that alert does is, in the event if someone ever did try to use your information, that credit bureau has to contact you, or that bank or wherever that may have to contact you. So let's say someone tried to go to Macy's and use my information. The bank for Macy's will contact me and say, hey, Will, are you at Macy's attempting to fill out a credit application now? And if so, then they will go ahead and proceed. If not, they shut it down immediately. So the first thing I recommend everyone do is to go and get a credit alert or a fraud alert, as they call it, put on their credit report, because it freezes their profile so that the creditors have to contact them to validate if it's them applying for an application on their behalf.
Who should we contact for the credit freezes?
You can actually contact every single credit bureau. There's 3 major credit bureaus, of course, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The reason you want to call all 3, even though Equifax was the only one breached, is because some banks don't even pull from Equifax. So you want to make sure that you're covered no matter what that bank pulls. So for my, people who go and apply for, let's say, a Navy Federal, they only pull TransUnion. So you want to make sure you're covered on all 3 credit bureaus, and just to protect yourself all the way around, because a fraud alert, it's free. It costs the client $0 to be able to protect themselves right now.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Any other questions about this? We're going to talk about credit in general, financing. Will's, again, like a hardcore business entrepreneur advocate for himself and our people. So automatically put a freeze on all 3. So if I have a freeze on it today, and tomorrow I want to go to Macy's because I want to get fly, I want to go to Macy's and I want to get a credit card, and they run my information, is Equifax going to call me to verify that I did this thing, or is it going to go through if I'm approved? How does it work?
Yeah, good question. So it won't be Equifax, it would be Macy's, or whatever bank houses Macy's, revolving line of credit. So in layman's terms, this is the process. Let's say you have a freeze on your credit today. I keep one on mine, and I apply for a lot of credit, because some people think it affects them, but it really is just a layer of protection. Okay. I go and apply, let's say, for Macy's today. I'm in Macy's filling out the application. They won't give me an instant approval. And that's another thing sometimes people get worried about, because they may have a strong credit score.
Okay.
Did I get denied? No, you didn't get denied. It's just they can't pull your credit without your authorization.
Because you have a freeze.
That bank will contact you. They'll call you on whatever phone number you put on your affidavit or your fraud alert that is with the credit bureaus. Once that bank calls that phone number, they're going to ask you some authentication questions regarding information that only you would know, that they will pull from your public records. Okay. So they may ask you, your most recent employer. They may ask you, what are 2 credit cards that you have an open balance with right now. It can be a variation of, anywhere between 2 to 4 questions. And it's usually going to be the fraud department of that particular credit card company. Once they authenticate you, then they'll go ahead and push the application through, and then you'll get the approval. So it's a bit tedious, but I'd rather be protected than unprotected, as we know. So.
Gotcha. All right, William, we answered that question. Tell me if you understand that you're going to call TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. You're going to put a freeze on your credit report.
Correct.
Got it, Will? Will Davis, William Davis. Let me know if you got that, if you understand, then we'll move on to the next part. Anybody has a question, type it in about the freeze. You got it, Will? Okay, thanks. These natural disasters, how is it going to affect the real estate market? What are your thoughts on that, Will?
Well, it definitely can have, for lack of better terms, somewhat an effect to where it lowers the value of the properties in the marketplace.
Okay.
We have a lot of clients in the state of Texas, out in the city of Houston, where right now they are kind of reaping the benefits, for lack of better terms, of what happened, due to Hurricane Harvey. So on the flip side, making sure you're in position credit wise, you're able to kind of capitalize off of it. I mean, we've seen it happen with in New Orleans with Katrina. People were actually able to purchase properties and investment properties below market value.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, rehab them, but depending on your level of expertise within the real estate market, you're able to negotiate whether it's a good rate for repairs. You're able to negotiate the cost of the property. But yeah, definitely people have been able to capitalize due to the unforeseen circumstances due to the hurricanes in these multiple cities.
Good stuff. How long does the freeze last for? Indefinite? Do I have to renew the freeze? How does that work?
Yeah, so there's two different types. You have a credit freeze and then you have a fraud alert.
Okay.
I recommend fraud alert, which is free. The freeze, some of the bureaus are going to charge anywhere between $9 to $12. The fraud alert, it stays on up to 7 years, but you can remove it anytime prior to that. And then you also have a temporary alert where it only stays on for 90 days. Okay. So after the time frame is over, you can always reactivate it and have them submit to have that put on their credit profile.
All right, good info. So Mr. Will Roundtree, why are you the go-to guy and the go-to company for credit? I know why, but is your credit any good? What about your team members? Is their credit good? Do you own real estate? Use your credit cards to buy real estate? I don't know. These are hypothetical questions that I don't know the answer to, or maybe I do.
Definitely. So, I'll answer as many of those as you need me to. But to answer the first question, I would say one of the things I say that separates what we do from a lot of other credit repair companies out there is our focus is the credit education. There's a lot of companies, and I'm putting in air quotes, that do credit repair. When you pick up the phone and give them a call and you may say, okay, you guys got 3 accounts deleted. Why is my score not moving? They can't answer the question.
Wow.
Or they say, okay, well, what can I do to improve my credit? And they tell you to go get a secure credit card. Well, that's not the answer all the time. So where we kind of have carved out a niche in the industry is because we're really focused on the credit education. The repair is just a byproduct of what our focus is, which is part of one of the reasons I wrote the book. It's not necessarily a how-to, but it really gives you those nuances or kind of the in-between crevices that a lot of companies don't really talk about in relations when it comes to credit repair. Not only that, we talk about, working with, high school students and making sure that they're equipped to understand before they go to college. There's a lot of companies that don't offer the services that we offer, one of them being inquiry removal. If you were to call some of those, I call them the big box companies that do credit repair, I'm not going to say any names, informants on the podcast right now. But if you were to pick up the phone and ask them, hey, do you guys delete inquiries? They will tell you, no, it's impossible. And a lot of it is due because they are reading off scripts. They really don't understand that based on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we have the right to dispute anything reporting derogatory, whether it's yours or not. It's the fact that they have to be able to prove it. And so all we do is utilize the laws. We leverage that information to be able to go and dispute against those credit bureaus to be able to get some of those things deleted off the report. Plus, credit repair is more than just getting things deleted off the report. For example, your credit utilization is 30% of what makes up your credit score.
30%, that's huge.
So for those who don't know what credit utilization is, based off of your revolving credit, i.e. credit cards or retail store cards, anytime your utilization is 30% over the limit of that card. So let's say you have $1,000 credit card and you maxed it out at $900. 90% of your utilization has been utilized. Your score is significantly going to be impacted. So let's say someone went in for credit repair. They had 3 collection accounts. All 3 got deleted, but their score didn't increase. They're going to be wondering why. They call the company who they hired. That company may not be able to answer that question for them because they don't understand the utilization component. Now, what they may say is, well, you know what, Andre, just go get a $200 secure card. Well, if you go get a $200 secure card on $900 worth of debt you have on a $1,000 credit card, does that really answer your utilization piece? No, you're still at 70% credit utilization. So a person has to be able to articulate, okay, well, how do I attack that? You can get more credit. One, either paying the bill down to below 30%, becoming an authorized user on a card that has a high credit limit, or asking for a credit limit increase. I mean, there's many different scenarios in that particular instance that we would be able to guide them in, but every single credit scenario is going to be different. But it's just unfortunate. A lot of people's kind of go-to is go get a $300 secure card. But if you got $50,000 worth of debt, a $300 secure card doesn't even put a scratch in the dent of that issue. So that's what I would say separates us is we look at it more from a holistic standpoint, and our focus is the credit education.
Got you. Howard has a good question. I haven't used a credit card in 8 years. I own a home free and clear. Congratulations. I work for myself. Why would I need good credit? Will's gonna flip out. Watch Will get pissed off. So I'm gonna hop in here. Why would you need good credit? Businesses don't always work. I know yours will, Harold, but businesses don't always work. Sometimes there's a slow period. You might have to get a job in the interim. 2, you might want to start developing real estate from the ground up or rehab homes. I think Will's done some rehabs, right?
Yeah, we're working on one right now in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Bingo. You might have some different aspirations in life. We don't always stay where we are in life. Sometimes we want more. Personal loan. You might want to work on it. You might start a business. You might want to refinance your existing mortgage, take the equity out of your house and go buy a franchise. So why to have good credit? Numerous reasons. Will, what are some of your reasons why people must have good credit?
Definitely a must. Well, you definitely touched on a few vital instances. The biggest thing I always tell people, life happens. I mean, credit and having access to credit is like having insurance. I'd rather need it and I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So in the instance, I had a client who, blew out all 4 of his tires. He didn't feel he ever needed credit.
Wow.
He didn't have an emergency fund.
Wow.
So in the event life happens, you got to come up with $1,200. Sometimes that line of credit is your lifeline, And so a lot of times, because we really don't understand credit, we look at it more so from a debt standpoint. Wealthy people look at credit as leverage.
Yes.
So from a business standpoint, or even just saying as a real estate investor, every single investor I talk to, eventually they run out of money. I'm working with some developers out of Philadelphia. They do $10 million contracts and above. Guess what their problem is right now? They're out of money. So they're trying to tap into credit because they went in utilizing all their cash. So there's so many different scenarios on why credit is important. Having access to credit is important. Like you said, growing your business, expanding, doing that rehab job.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely. Even just a peace of mind. So yeah, definitely.
Approaching members of the opposite or same sex. Some people only date people with a certain credit profile. I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing in the world. I do think people should give people some leeway if they're willing to work on it, because it could change with like 3 to 9 months. You could have a whole different credit profile or less.
Right.
So yeah, I think we all need to be, no matter how many years of income we have, how great life is going, I am hardcore invested into having the best possible credit score I can, because the options are just limitless. I don't have credit. What should I do to get started? A secure card, that's for me. So here's the thing. That's Antonio. Hey, Antonio, out of North Carolina. Different people need different things. So I'm not sure if Will has some time. Will's got some time. I'm gonna have Antonio come in on camera with us, and we can maybe take 2 minutes to see maybe what the best option for him as like a case study. So, Antonio, if you want to hop in here, type in open camera, and we'll try to answer your questions and see what's the best option for you. And Will, how can people hire you? You are a businessman. How can we hire you in the future?
Yeah, definitely. They can reach out to us at support@wemanagementinc.com. That's support@wemanagementinc.com. And of course, they can also follow me on Instagram. That's Mr.Entrepreneur.Will. And they'll see a countless amount of our testimonials and just kind of follow the company's journey of what we're doing across the country, and and just helping people level up in regards to credit and really just understanding credit.
All right. So I posted Will's email address in the chat box. Here's his website. And Will, your email address ends in a .com, yet not a Gmail. That what's the deal with that?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard me talk about that a million times.
Will's pretty much even killed. Like, he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. But when we were at, he's my friend, so you might hear us joking around a little bit. I was at one of the cash and credit workshops I had, and my main man Jay Morrison run together, and Will said that he was working on a real estate project, and the attorney emailed him something, and he said the attorney's email address ended in the Gmail. He said right then and there, I can't take you seriously as someone to handle my real estate transactions.
Not at all. Not at all.
My hair is not picked. I don't care about your hair, Antonio. If you're cool with your hair being, dude, I don't have any hair, so I can get you in here. If you want to hop in here, type in open camera, get you in here. Anybody else as well? Yes. Also, a lot of business people will judge you on your email address and your website. It could be a landing page. Have somewhere where people can go. You see how Will gave you the website, it gave you the email address, gave you the IG. Some people just have an IG. I'm sure it can work. But we are a little hard on each other as the people. So having a landing page, email address ending in a .com or a .net, it can elevate your level of seriousness in the marketplace. All right, Antonio, we're going to get you in here, brother. We're going to take 2 minutes to see what we can do to help you as an individual get your credit game up. Antonio King, promote the panelists. All right. All right, Antonio, you are there. Good brother. What's going on, leader?
What's up, man?
Doing good, man. Good seeing you again, man. Talk to us. How you feeling out there?
Everything's going well. I got my surgery on the 22nd.
Okay, man. Good luck, man. Tell me if you need anything. We'll send you out some food if you can't get out.
Okay, appreciate it.
Anytime. All right. So where do you stand with your credit?
I have no credit because before I knew Dr. Boyce Watkins and yourself, I used to listen to a lot of Dave Ramsey.
It gets on my damn nerves. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
So you can understand why I have a negative disposition on credit. So everything with cash.
I'm gonna hop in real quick. So it's like James Ramsey's goal is to get everybody into the middle class and just stay there. And some people don't have that freaking aspiration. Some people do, and that's cool. But not everyone wants to be middle class and just freaking stay there. Don't do this. Don't do that. Get out of here.
His principles aren't practical for everyone.
Bingo.
So just like with everything, you got to take what works for you, and it's not practical. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Do you want to be average or do you want to be great? I want to be great.
I mean, we're on here at 2:00 in the afternoon, 11 a.m. where you are. I mean, yeah, well, we're here to kick some ass. Anyway, sorry, Antonio, that was rude of me. But go on.
No, it's cool. I'm here to learn. So, you said with secured credit cards, should I get one from my bank to start building the credit because I don't have credit? I mean, how should I go by doing that?
All right, very good question. And first of all, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to hop on the line here with us today, King. So in the scenario that you're in, if you have zero revolving credit, a couple things I definitely recommend. One, you want to immediately go to your bank, and yes, you want to open up a secured card. And in your particular scenario, that would be beneficial because now you have what's called a primary account to where you can begin to start building and establishing credit. Now, make sure that you verify with your bank that it does report to all three credit bureaus, because all secured cards are not created equal. And for those who don't know the difference between secured and unsecured, secured means you put up the money for that account. Unsecured means you're not putting up anything. It's no collateral backing it. So yes, just make sure you double check and verify with that bank that it is that they do report to all three bureaus. Another option that I will look at, or recommendation, and I would actually do both of them in tandem, is finding out if you can become an authorized user on somebody's line of credit. So basically, let's say you had a friend, a relative, a parent, a spouse, or whoever that had a credit card for $5,000, and this is an example. As long as that credit card is in good standing, meaning no late payments and their balance is below 30%, preferably if you're going to do an authorized user, I say less than 10% of the balance.
Okay.
You can contact that bank and add you on as an authorized user, where that means you would get all of the history of that credit line to report on your credit profile. It's zero risk to that person. And as long as they maintain that account in good standing, it can do nothing but benefit you positively. You don't get access to the card, you just get the history of that card. Once you get those things reporting, then I do recommend you go and try and apply for your own unsecured credit card, because then you would have now established history on your credit profile showing the banks that you're responsible. And another reason why I say, even just the basics of why you want to have revolving credit reporting, if you go and try to purchase a home, and we're talking about just a regular residency, your primary residency, if you're doing FHA, you have to have at least 2 to 3 revolving lines of credit reporting. I've actually had clients who had 800 credit scores who couldn't necessarily get approved through underwriting for the dollar amount for the primary residency they were trying to purchase because they didn't have any revolving credit. So revolving credit is important for a lot of different scenarios. When you're going to try to purchase a vehicle or whatever, basically the banks use that to gauge how credit responsible you are. So that's why I'm a component of having access to revolving credit, not even just for the sake because they're credit cards, but because that's one of the ultimate things to strengthen your credit profile. Matter of fact, the quickest way to increase a score and to build a score is you need to have revolving credit. And that's what I tell all my clients. I think it's just that we have such a misconception because we've always been told that credit is bad. Well, I'm here to tell people a checking account can be bad if a person doesn't use it properly, because I know a ton of people who are in check systems and burnt out every single bank in their local city. Wow. So it's really just about the individual and how responsible that they are.
Got you. All right, so Antonio, contact someone to be an authorized user. Make sure that they are responsible and they pay their bills on time. I would personally even pay somebody to do that for me personally. As a secured card can be an option, but they have to report to all 3 credit bureaus. And Will's email address, website, I posted in the chat box. If you guys want to contact his firm for a private consultation, and they can help you out as well.
Okay, thank you.
Later, good seeing you, brother Antonio.
Yes,
and
sir.
Good luck with the surgery. Let me know if you need anything. All right. Anybody else want to hop in? We have a few more minutes. Anybody else want to hop in? Somebody said they have terrible credit and they can't even get a small personal loan. No, you cannot. This is a big friggin' deal. And as someone who's had great credit, someone who's had terrible credit, and someone who's been in between, the stress level it has on your mind, that if your girlfriend or your daughter, I don't have a daughter, but if I did have a daughter, breaks their leg and I have to stay home with them and I can't go to work and I need a loan for 3 months to take care of my mother, and you can't get that loan of $5,000, it weighs on your mind, especially as a grown up, right, Will? As a man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, and that's why I tell people credit is so much more than just being able to get a credit card, a house, and a car. It gives you a peace of mind. I mean, I have a client out in Los Angeles, California, who left his 9-to-5 where he was making over $175,000 a year.
Whoa.
Because not only did we help him build his credit, but then we leveraged his credit to help him build to over a $800,000 real estate portfolio.
What?
Where his residual is over $7,500 a month.
Oh my God.
Of his real estate portfolio.
That's an ill flip.
Off of his credit. So again, credit is so much more. I mean, so he retired leveraging his credit. Again, this is how these are the principles that wealthy people have been taught since they were 10 years old. We've just been taught, go to school, get a good job, and take care of your family, and all that other fairy tale stuff. But we really need to open up our minds and understand we're behind the 8 ball because we don't understand wealth. And once we have a better understanding of wealth, we now can play the game differently. And it all starts with credit. That's why more and more real estate investors are reaching out to us, because they understand, I can't just do everything with cash. Yeah. Think about it from this standpoint. The one reason that a lot of real estate investors took an L during the real estate crash was why? They used all their own cash.
Yep.
But if you go out and purchase a property utilizing that was backed with your credit card, and that credit card defaults, can they take that house?
No, it's not tied to it.
Nothing. But see, again, because we're so used to going into Nordstrom's and just buying that belt with that credit card, you know what I'm saying? We need to, and that's why it all starts with the education. We just have a misconception about how credit truly works. And that's what our company does, is we teach people that.
So your firm can also help people get business credit and business financing as well?
That's correct. Yes.
Wow, that's a huge deal. Does everybody online have Will's information? Does everybody online have Will? He travels every week or every other week to a city. He's been doing it for the past, 20 weeks, Will?
Yeah, we've been on the road since March. Yeah, I'll be in St. Louis.
March, wow.
11:45 Pacific Standard Time. I'll be in St. Louis tomorrow morning.
So yeah, man. So here goes. After preaching the gospel, they have a free corner class, great information. Then they have a credit to cash class, which costs $50. $50 to learn how to take your credit and turn it into cash. The things you're going to learn in that class are just phenomenal. Are literally just phenomenal. So follow Will on IG. Okay, great information. Will be purchasing the book. Yes, get the book as well. Get the book now if you can. I want to get 5 people to get the book while we're on the call. Can we do that? So we have 1. I want to get 5 people to get the book while we're on the call. Great information. We're purchasing the book. Got to go because of the breach. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Will, we spoke about real estate investing. Have you been involved in real estate for a while? Have you done a lot of projects?
Based on my relationship with Mr. King, Jay Morrison, who we've definitely both have a mutual relationship.
That's our boy, with. Yeah.
I mean, I learned my real estate from him. I mean,
wow.
He's in the industry, and so since I started out as an academy student with
really?
Jay Morrison.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Are you serious?
I started out as a student in the academy.
I did not know that. And now you help him run the academy.
Right.
Talk about a come up. Okay.
So I would say have an unfair advantage because I'm able to kind of, pick his brain. But the information that we learn within the academy, I'm telling people, it's light years ahead of what is out there on the marketplace, especially for the cost. I mean, I've talked to people who went to Robert Kiyosaki workshops, pay 17 grand, and they never get to speak to somebody.
Dude, so, it's not even close. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So I think what separates the people who are successful in real estate investing from the people who are not, they take action. I know a lot of people who go out here and read 1,000 books, but they don't apply any of the information. And so going back to your initial question, yes, I've been involved with real estate actively now for the past 2 years. Just this year alone, my team and myself, we've acquired 4 properties. Me personally, I like to buy and hold. I'm not really into flipping. I like to check every single one.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, equity built up while doing it.
Yeah, for real. So if I decide, if I want to take my family on vacation, whatever I spend is going to get recouped, because residual income, that's how you get wealthy. You got to have residual income.
Passive income is one of my favorite words, which is why I built a school called the Passive Income School, which I'm going to show you if anybody wants to enroll. You can. The Passive Income School. Everything Will is kicking his knowledge. It's factual. He's in the game. And so here's what Will did is he paid money to invest in education, got the education, then formed a partnership through the education. And I think about 80% of the staff at JMA used to be students.
Yeah.
Of the high-ranking staff members, who were all my friends, used to be students there. So when you pay for something, I had a book signing, Will, last week, right? My first book's out. Appreciate it. Yep, man, we out here. So the people who came there to show up to my event, I just put them in a whole different light because they showed up. You could do anything. You could have watched the webinar. They could have killing. My man came through from Philly to show love for the event. If you invest with people, they automatically put you in a different category. They might not tell you that, but in their minds, they're automatically putting you in a different category of person because you invested time and or money to with them, and they put you in a different box, which can help propel you to a whole different business and career. But will you invest the money? Will you invest the time?
Oh yeah, I mean, I paid $1,500 just to get a one-on-one call with Jay. Even after I joined the academy.
Wow, dedication.
But I looked at it as an investment. It wasn't a cost to me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We go and spend money on things that yield us no return on investment. I mean, when I was single, I've had bad dates with no return on investments. So, of course, I'm still on my education, So, absolutely.
We spend, Boyce always says, we spend money on the things we don't need and beg for the things we want. Spend the money. Again, he spent $1,500 for a call, and now they make serious money together and help change lives together. Everybody wins. What's the contact info again? Okay, Will's contact info, Christopher. I'm going to repost the website here. So for anyone, Will, who chopped in here later, with the Equifax situation, with that for the 143 million people, what should people do right now?
Okay, so for those who just hopped on the call, I appreciate and welcome you. But so if you haven't heard, excuse me, Equifax has been breached, one of the largest data breaches in the United States. Over 143 million individuals have been impacted. Me personally, I think it's more because everyone has a credit file with Equifax. In the event, or what I recommend you do immediately is contact all 3 credit bureaus and put a fraud alert. Basically, it's a freeze on your report. So in the event if someone ever tried to use your information, that company or that bank has to call you to validate and verify it's actually you applying for that line of credit. Not only that, if you have a credit monitoring with Equifax, cancel it today, because not only did they get access to your information, the credit card numbers, your phone number, addresses, social security and information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in layman's terms, definitely you want to at least be protecting yourself and then still have some form of credit monitoring. I recommend it. And I believe in a paid one. I mean, we pay for cable TV. Why not go and pay for a real credit monitoring service?
I mean, some things adults need to just have in place. Life insurance.
Oh, definitely.
Paid credit monitoring. I mean, we have insurance on stupid ass cell phones, and we don't have insurance on our life sometimes. So, like, no.
Crazy. People ask me all the time, I got to pay for my credit reports? Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So
knowing something's a big deal, guys. Knowing something is a big deal, and credit, real estate, asset accumulation, it makes the world go round, and it can give you a much better quality of life if you invest some months. Will, what's the average turnaround time for someone who comes to you guys with a 500 credit score? And here's the thing about Will's company. It's not just Will. Will has a team. There's a team of people. When someone comes to you with a 500 credit score, and they have XYZ credit score later. I know it's on a case-by-case scenario, but what's the average time?
Our average turnaround is about 4 to 6 months, and that's usually worst case scenario. We have had scenarios where it's 9 to 12 months, but that same turnaround, we've had people who are with other companies 2 to 3 years and still didn't get the results, come to us within 90 days, they're in a better position. Because again, we're educating them through the process. Plus, statistically, most people who get their credit repaired, 60% of them usually ruin it again because they weren't educated about credit properly.
The process, yeah.
And that's another reason why, you know, our biggest thing is really the credit education. I mean, I can't speak enough volumes on how it's helped to impact people better understanding about credit when they're working with us within our program. So, and they don't even just have to go through us or join our program. I mean, we actually even have a special offer where we offer an ebook that, you know, before we disconnect from the line, I'm going to offer to everyone who is on the line, or they'll be able to get our ebook at a substantial discounted rate here today.
Appreciate it. Antonio just got a book. Bernard just got a book as well. So thank you guys. It's not cheap to get Will on the line, especially in the daytime like this. He's doing us a favor. So us showing him that we value him is important to what we do at the Black Real Estate School. We don't just want freebies. We want an equal or close to equal exchange of value, and that's reciprocity, and that's how business deals get done in the big world out there. Never forget that. So somebody said, Christopher, do you see the links that I just posted, Christopher? I posted Will's contact me page and his email address. Christopher, type in yes if you see what I just posted. All right. Yeah, business credit. So Will, I need to book you guys as well too, because I need to add on my father to one of my businesses. Absolutely. And I want to get I want to leverage his credit for some business funding as well, which I know you guys do stuff like that, right?
Man, we love that piece, because one of the things is that I always tell people most small businesses will never get access to capital.
Bingo.
Whole SBA funding is a joke. Less than 2% of businesses ever get approved for SBA. They run you through the ringer for 9 months. You spend thousands of dollars to some specialists, and at the end of the 6 to 9 months, they tell you, oh, you're denied with the 800 credit score. You know, plus you got everybody in your business. It's a lot of paperwork. Yep. I mean, it's a nightmare. Whereas we show people how to go after unsecured lines of credit, credit cards, and no tax returns, very little documentation. But we walk you through the process to make sure you're compliant, so it makes the process very smooth, which is why we have 100% success rate whenever we send someone through our process, because we work with the underwriters. We know exactly what their file looks like. On the flip side of that, we are the company that handles the inquiry removal for their clients. So we're working with one of the top lending companies in the United States to handle their clients for the inquiry removal. So
that doesn't hurt. That sure doesn't hurt. No. Knowledge. Thank you, Andre. Congrats on getting on the book. Oh, thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that. If anyone wants to grab my book, only after you grab Will's. You grab Will's, and if you got so much cash, you get mine. And you can get mine next week if you got to wait till next week. It will be here. So you go to andresbook.com, andresbook.com. Here's some video footage from the event we had. My first event. My first event. I was very proud of it. Fun. Yeah, man. Nice turnout. You can pick up the book here. The top 10 habits of underachievers. The top 10 habits of underachievers. As Will knows, successful people as well as unsuccessful usually are determined. Their lives are determined by their habits. And what I studied is when I studied people like life, books, my own bullshit, that underachievers most are doing similar things. Most are doing similar crap. And I was like, damn, how do I get this message out here? I was like, let me put in the book. Easy to read book. You could even write down your thoughts in the book. I have sections for notes after every chapter and at the end of the book. And if you can eliminate some of these habits, your life will increase in every every way you can imagine.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, just like
Yep.
it's a lifestyle.
That's what it is. All right, we're winding down now. Somebody says, what's a good credit monitoring service, Will? Any you recommend?
Yeah, it's a couple. I like creditchecktotal.com.
Credit check total, okay.
It's the most complete based upon the information they provide. I also like myfico.com. The reason I like myfico is because a lot of people don't know there's 3 different types of FICO scores that you're gauged by when you go to apply for something. You have a score for credit cards, you have a score for mortgages, and you have a score for auto loans.
Wow.
It's easier to get approved for a home than a credit card. And a lot of people don't realize that. You only need a 620 to buy a house. You need a minimum 680 to get a good unsecured revolving line of credit. And of course, with an auto loan, you can have a 500. Your interest rate may be 29%.
Yeah.
You only need a 500 to buy a car. So yeah, so like myfico.com, creditchecktotal.com, and another good one is privacyguard.com.
Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of people don't know, especially like in towns like in cities like New York, Chicago, and the LAs and Miami's of the world, it's harder to get an apartment sometimes than it is to buy a condo or a house. I mean, literally, from someone who sells real estate and has rented apartments. These landlords, sometimes what they want from you is harder than what a lot of banks and loan officers require from you. It's insane. Credit is a must, even if you're thriving now, even if you're rolling now. Spend the time, spend the money, buy the book, hire Will's firm, whatever you got to do, even if it takes freaking 2 years, whatever it is, put the time in, get your credit where it needs to be, and you have a better quality of life. On that, what do you think of identity protection insurance, Will? Last question.
There's companies out there like LifeLock and different things like that. It's cool. It's nothing against it, but now some of the credit monitoring services offer it without you having to pay for an additional policy. So it's not a bad idea at all. Again, it's just another layer of protection. And, I'm a big component in securing your identity and your information and all of that. But like I say, the easiest way, I believe in taking the path of least resistance in anything I do. Get that fraud alert added to it just saves so many headaches in regards from a credit standpoint. So yeah, so definitely.
You never lie. All right, so on that note, we're going to jet out. You guys have the link to purchase Will's book and to hire him and his firm. I fully support everything they do. They're friends of mine, well trusted. So if they tell you to do something, I say do it. If they said that's their fee, I say pay it. They're fair, and they'll get the job done. Appreciate you, King.
All right, peace. One last thing before I let you go, King.
Yes, sir.
So if anybody goes to our website, we have an ebook on there. If you're one of those do-it-yourselfers, our ebook has been discounted to $29.99. It's normally a $79 ticket.
Oh, wow.
So if anyone who wants to go through there and kind of work on some kinks on their credit on their own, we've had clients who literally went through the ebook. It's an easy read where they've increased their credit score, 150 points. It has sample letters in there, the whole 9. So we're going to have this offer up for the next 48 hours. Go to our website. It's wemanagementinc.com. They can purchase the ebook at a $50 discounted rate only for your subscribers. They have 48 hours to do so, and definitely get access to the information. And like I say, if they want to work on it on their own, and be able to start rebuilding their own credit.
Appreciate that, leader. If you type in the chat box for me, Will, if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll pull it up on my end as well. Wow, that's huge. So some people are more hands-on. People like I'd rather just pay a firm. What I gotta do this, you do that. But some people don't mind the hands-on stuff, and they're able to knock it out themselves. So you made it extremely affordable for people who are in that predicament. All right, so on the website now. So this is it right here, Will?
Yes.
All right. And where do they go?
They can actually go to where they would get the ebook.
Ebook. Okay. I think I might be blocking it. Okay. Ebook. Consultations, events.
Yeah, I can send you the link directly, or they can just email us too.
Okay, cool.
I know we were getting the code set up on the website, so they can also email us, and we'll send them. and they'll get it instantly.
Got you. All right. And does everybody have Will's email address? Does everybody have the email address? If you got it, say yes. If you don't, say no. All right. Will, if you type it in there one more time for me, big brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
See here, we make sure that you have what you need to get to the next level. We don't just say bye. We check it over. We make sure you got it, then send you on your way to grow your asset column and to get it done with creditable, honest people who get stuff done. All right, we're done here. All right, King, appreciate you, man. All right, guys, thank you for hopping in here.
All right.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Peace.